What's the story, Lori? Top of the morning to you. I reached out to you guys a couple days ago to say, who is actually listening? And along the same time, I was convicted on how I deliver my messages. You know, some of the best messages, all of the best messages are filled with story. And here's my story. I've been given these messages without any story at all. And I've been checking to see how many people are listening. Is it worth my effort? What am I doing here? But the feedback I got from one of the readers, actually, this goes out on an email daily. Well, it's not daily anymore. I've scaled it back with some business at work and things and timing. Was I want to learn to spread the good news better. And that's why I read your daily newsletter or your Kingdom Builders. They're not daily anymore. And I said, well, that's really great. And then I thought about, how do I spread the good news better? And I remember, trying to keep the sun out of your faces, I remember maybe a year ago, probably a year ago, I shared with you the frame for the Daily Kingdom Builder. And it's really the frame for any time you got something valuable to share. And this is where I'm at. This is the story part. And why I share it is because it's me. It's real. It's what I have been trying to do and failing at. So the framework that I use on these loosely is what, why, lesson, apply. I start with a what. I try to tell a little story, and I didn't do a good job with that today because it's really about this. And that's the part that I've been missing lately, is the what. I need that story of me, of my kids, of my family, of my experiences, of a friend, of a mastermind member, of a coaching client, anonymously, of course. I need that story to share, to personalize it, to make it realistic, to make you see it, to draw your attention. And the why is the why of the story. Why do I share that story? Because I keep telling you got to do what you plan to do, and I plan to give good content every day, and I haven't been doing it. And I was reminded by feedback from my listeners, my readers, to that, and it wasn't even direct. This goes back to what we were talking about a couple weeks ago, where that internal motivation, that internal voice is saying, hey, you missed it here. This guy's question didn't even say, you're not telling stories anymore, Brian. It just said, hey, I want to learn to spread the news better. And I was convicted that I'm not following my own model, my own design for sharing the news on Kingdom Builders. And so that conviction, that Holy Spirit, led me to being pulled by the dog, led me to this message and improving my messages in the next couple weeks and always improving them and going forward. So that's the why. The lesson here is when you're teaching, teach with story. When I was in my teaching education at school, at college, come on, Phaedra, come on. I remember my favorite quote, and I even put it on my resume at the time. A great teacher doesn't try to tell you what he sees. He has you stand beside him and see for yourself. And that's what the story does. It allows us to walk into, to imagine that situation, that circumstance, that place, and see it from our own perspective, see it with our own eyes, and learn by just that direct experience. And then the apply is, I always try to leave, and it's been a couple months since I've been doing this well, I try to leave the listener, the reader, with an action task. Next time, and here it is, here's the apply for you today. Next time you have the opportunity to teach something, try and teach it with story. Find a story that you can tell. And it can even be fictional, but the more real it is, the more connected it is, the better it's going to be. So find a teaching opportunity, a small teaching moment that you can fill it in with story and share that story with the framework what, why, lesson, apply. And the why and lesson are really similar. Why is why you're doing it, why you want to do it, and the lesson is really the root of it. What are you trying? What's the teach? And I've been doing just the lesson lately and a little bit of the apply. So thanks for being here. Thanks for building God's kingdom here and now, because Jesus said, the kingdom's here. We are here. You be blessed.